So I heard in November, food stamps and public assistance is supposed to be cut for a lot of people, regardless of anything. And all it brings me back to was when I was in the shelter system. And there was a girl, me and a Scorpio girl, in a food stamp office, and we had both been cut. And I made mention to her about, you know what, I feel like this is the testing ground for one day they're just going to cut us, and that we have to start to tap into a level of consciousness of depending on ourselves, like building back, right? And she didn't even want to have the discussion. And in fact, we stopped talking because for a moment there we had exchanged numbers and seemed cool. But when I started speaking of that potential, she literally cut me off. Mind you, a lot of people that I met in the shelter system probably would have felt the same way and done the same thing. Hence why I don't surround myself with any people, but much less people in shelter. Even when I was there, I didn't really affiliate myself so heavily. And so for a while now, I've been saying, God, unleash my potential, show me what I'm capable of doing without the bare minimal that is PA, that is FS, food stamps and public assistance. Because I literally called it and I saw the day that this would come. And so now there is stipulation, even in democratic cities like New York, where you have to get into this back to work program, which granted, I've already been to, and I've already drawn the conclusion on that at least for persons like me, it wasn't about getting back employed. It was about containment. It was about control. It was about power. That, hey, you want these food stamps, this is going to be the exchange. It wasn't about work. When I first walked into that office, one of the first things that I said was, I don't have a back to work problem. I have a discrimination problem. And when people are only looking at your paperwork and not you as the person, and if nothing in this back to work program focuses on discrimination practices, this program is not for me. But I still gave it my best effort because, hey, nothing beats a try but a failure. I don't fail at anything. And so that showed me it was something bigger than myself. And then when this recertification time came back around and I found myself being highly degraded yet again in a food stamp office and giving the back to work requirement, guess what, guys? I refused to even accept the mail, and since then I've let it all go. And if anybody notices a buoyance and a vibrance in my energy, maybe that is why. And sometimes you don't even know, what am I going to fall back on? But I am willing to walk by faith and not sight, and know that I will always find my way. Black people, Black America specifically, we know what it is. We know what it means to struggle and to have not. This is a time to put all of those skills, to me I call them survivalist skills, into fruition, and let the government have any. And now let me say this, I'm not going to be sloppy with it. You know, if you know that you have, and that you've been cultivating character and principalities and skills that you know that you could do without, you can live without, it's time to wave bye-bye to public assistance, if you know what I know. And I want to come back for a part 2, but I wanted to do this video before my battery even dreamed of like going low on me, because this is, you know, I've been in the city now for going on 7-8 years, somewhere around about, and I've always had those resources. And so to cut them loose has liberated me physically, spiritually, just metaphysically, just mentally, in every which way, because those benefits were cutting and curtailing our ambition, making us lazy and complacent. And so the reason that these things have been done, these cuts have been made, are not for our betterment. But Black people, know who you are and why they removed Black history out of the school system, because it is literally repeating itself. It is literally repeating itself. But to know who you are, the fortitude and the magnitude from which we derive as a people spiritually and as a whole. And you know what? It's about time to let go. And that curse that they thought would be that, but that is only to those that have been heavily reliant. You know, those of us that have been getting in the bare minimal are almost like the black farmers out to this motherfucker. We've already had nothing. And so let those scraps go and stand 10 toes down and on business, on survivalism, on your spirituality, and do it strong. It's nothing like a person taking something away and giving it back. They're thriving off of the power of taking it away. So I say let them have it, let them keep it. And already I'm seeing in the streets black people becoming resilient and reliant, and our spirit building back. You see, those things were never put in position to help us. And so guess what? This supposed curse, we can make a transformation that we've never seen since before those benefits, quote unquote. We can feel the vibrance of our people coming alive, and I do. I hope you do. And even within myself. And so versus looking at the glass half empty or half full, how about when the motherfucker was empty? There's no such thing as half full. Everything is something to work with, and it is our time.